Hello and welcome to this brief training on our ePhase equipment. Once the app is installed on the tablet, we'll proceed to enter the application by tapping the button on the ePhase icon, and immediately it will allow us and ask us for permissions that we must accept for the proper use of the device. Allow and return to the application. Once this first step is done, we'll tap once in the center of the screen to start the software. First, the Settings button. We'll go into the settings to fill in our license. License number, which will come in a document along with the machine. Name, address. It's important to fill in all the information to activate our license and activate our warranty. Phone number and an email. And once all this information is filled in, we'll proceed to press the Validate License button, where License Validated will appear once all the information is correct. And remember, you will always need to have both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned on. On the right side, we can check our device's serial number, which will also be on a sticker on the back of the ePhase, and we can also adjust the total session time. Normally, we recommend a minimum of 20 minutes and a maximum of 25 minutes. There is also a power mode, which has a normal mode and a high mode. For most people, the normal mode will be enough. There will be a specific group of people who will need or require a higher intensity, and for them, we will have to select the high mode to choose a higher power, as well as the groups, 3 groups or 4. This means that we can work on both cheeks at the same time, or we can control them separately and individually. In this case, normal, 3 groups, and choose the language type. Once this part is set up, we will go back to the main menu, where to start our ePhase session, it will ask us, and it will be crucial to select the gender as well as the age range. Here, we will slightly adjust the intensity levels depending on the age range and whether the person is male or female. That's why it's important to tailor it to our client's profile. Once it's filled out, we'll press the Start button. We will wait in the upper left part of the screen for the gear icon, the button, to change from red to green. This will mean that it is connected. We need to make sure the Bluetooth connection is active, that the ePhase device is connected, that the emergency button shows a green light, and after these checks, our device will connect to the tablet. Once the connection is made, we will proceed to place the electrodes and position the client, in this case, for the treatment, and then we will return to the tablet to select the type of treatment. In this case, there are 2 modes, comprehensive or specialized. The comprehensive mode or treatment will be an automatic treatment that we have already preset. The system will continuously adjust the type of frequency and pulse width at all times. Or, by selecting the specialized treatment, a series of individual programs will appear, each more specifically tailored to the goal of each patient. In this case, we can see options like rejuvenation, facial maintenance, lifting, extreme sagging, drainage, relaxation, or increased blood flow. Depending on the goal, we usually recommend a minimum of 2 programs in a 20-minute session in order to provide different types of stimulation for the treatment of the skin and muscles of the face. This way, you can combine programs such as drainage, lifting, and maintenance, or extreme sagging and increased blood flow, for example, in this case, to carry out a more intense session. Once one of the programs has been selected, we can start our session by pressing the button at the bottom right, the play button, to begin our timer. The timer will start running, as will the contraction bars, in this case, 6 seconds in green and 2 seconds in red, which will indicate the rest time. Rest and work. We will proceed to increase the intensities, which are currently at 0% for each muscle group. In this case, electrode number 1, 2 on the cheeks, and 3 on the lower part of the chin, the jaw. We will gradually increase the intensity, and the color will change or adjust accordingly. I've already gone from a less intense yellow to a slightly more intense green to red, which will indicate a higher intensity, as well as some emergency triangles warning us that, well, the intensity might be high. We should continue, slowly increasing the intensity until the client, after asking them, feels comfortable and at ease with the treatment. We will keep increasing it. Here, usually, in this area, the number 1 spot will be a bit more sensitive. The number 2 area, the cheeks, will tolerate much more intensity and handle it better. And that's really where we'll focus most of our treatment. Just like with area 3, it will also depend a bit on the amount of fat the client has in this zone. So we can either increase the intensity more or stay at a medium intensity. Once we've set an intensity that's comfortable for our client, we'll proceed to leave the client in this case and keep asking about their needs. In this lower left part of the screen, we can always check the type of frequency and pulse width of this program, and we can also pause and select another program again. When changing a program, it will modify the frequency and the pulse width. We should inform the client that the treatment is about to resume. The recommendation is to decrease the intensity by 5 or 10% so that when we start again, this change of program and frequency doesn't catch the client off guard. And then gradually raise the tempera, the intensity until the client gives us positive feedback. Just as the client, through questions, will tell us if the treatment is going well, we can also visually observe if the face is moving, if it's working, if the drainage program makes the face vibrate more, or if the extreme flaccidity program tries to work the muscles with a lot of power and the face might move a little. We will always observe the client visually, and that will also be our reference, along with their feedback. Once the time is up, the software will stop, beep, and we will consider the session finished at that point, proceeding to remove, to take off the electrodes, the wiring, the emergency button, and going back to close our eFace application using this button. That's everything about our eFace device. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.